Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit Mars square opposition or inconjunct one's natal black moon laws. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Mars, they can be about energy, vitality, courage, fortitude, drive, motivation, anger, acrimony, initiative, and enterprise. And when transit Mars is basically making an adverse aspect to one's natal black moon laws, and I'll elaborate on that when I'm talking about basically an adverse aspect. Squares and oppositions, of course, in astrology can be adverse and negative. When we have now the inconjunct aspect is seen as neutral, but it can require adjustments, a transition, and when you're trying to make an adjustment or change, of course, it can be tension filled. It can cause some exasperation. So that's why I see this collectively. This is basically an adverse aspect that is being made. Now, again, when you have transit Mars basically making the adverse aspect to one's natal black moon laws, well, it may manifest in energy and vitality, courage, fortitude, your drive, motivation, anger, acrimony, initiative, and enterprise. It may conflict with matters connected with the negative manifestation of the sign or the dark side. And well, the thing about it is you may not maybe have the courage to deal perhaps with the negative energy connected with the sign, with the placement of your natal black moon Lilith. If the natal black moon Lilith is in it's in Aquarius as an example, it could be overly rebellious or bizarre idiosyncratic behavior, being a nonconformist just for the sake of doing so, and it can come out negatively. Now, but it can be a time where you might not be able to confront or combat that energy, or you may be angrier at that energy more so than usual. And the thing about this as well, I mean, the black moon Lilith is also connected to the side of a person that could be suppressed. It's a side that you don't necessarily want unveiled, and it might be it can be where at this time again the courage and fortitude, which is connected with Mars, maybe may conflict with that side you don't want to come out. And when I say that, it might mean it could manifest in not really having the courage to see that side or to deal with it at this time, or maybe not taking the initiative and enterprise, having to really to cope with it and battle it at this point in time. And it could be a situation, or it could be some situation, whether it's a contentious situation or something that's making you angry, may have that energy really, come out, very negatively, I would say, as well as another way this transit may be expressed. Now, another thing too is that the black moon Lilith is also associated with trauma, and it can be physical, emotional trauma. It may be something where some kind of battle you may have had with somebody, may result in the trauma that's connected, with the placement. It can be. I mean, if you have your natal black moon, let's say, it's in your fourth house, it can be connected with a home or family member. At this time, it might be something too. When you look at this, the black moon Lilith in astrology, it can be, or it can also be, I want to say this transit, if there's, Mars could be about physical battles, and the black moons can be, again, be about trauma. So there may be a greater propensity where, if there's something physical that may take place, as far as a physical injury or some battle, or if there's even a fight, it may result in trauma that may be, intensified at this time. If Gemini is involved, it could be something with the arms or the hands, or the fingers at this, something that's connected with, physically connected with Gemini. Um, Another thing too about this transit, it's also can be connected with abuse as well. You know, Black Moon also in the fourth house, there may be an abusive situation, you know, with the home or family member, or even if it's in the zodiac sign Cancer, it might be, you know, where, you know, in fact, you might feel, you know, Black Moon also in the fourth house natally by itself may manifest in feeling, you know, exiled or ostracized from one's family. And say if you have the transit of Mars, you know, making an adverse aspect to it in that example. It could be where you might be more acerbic, you know, more angry at that situation in your life at this time, and maybe it might be negatively impacting maybe your drive and your motivation at this time as well. Another way this transit may manifest as well, I mean, the black moons can be connected with that void in our lives where we feel there's a void in. This could be the time, you know, you might not have, you know, the desire or the enthusiasm to deal perhaps with that void that may be in your life at this time. The thing is, if you have it like in the sixth house or Virgo, it might be something connected with employment, or, you know, maybe there's something, you know, with organization, or trying to be more attentive to details or issues with health or hygiene. And the black moon also in Virgo, you know, by itself can manifest in maybe some very strong hypochondriac or germophobic or overly critical qualities that you don't want unveiled. I don't know if germophobic or hypochondriac, if that even, you know, applies anymore, but you understand, you know, as far as how that's the word used to describe, you know, kind of behavior, but you understand what I'm saying. Um, the thing about it is, it can be something where you might have a harder time confronting those issues at this time, and also the black minerals can be connected with a formidable adversary or somebody that simply plays a provocative role in your life scheme. So it might be, you know, taking action on these matters, or even trying to, you know, if you're in a battle with somebody that's been a very powerful enemy, it may be harder to do so at this time and find the drive and the energy in order to do it at this time. And the thing about this too is the black minerals can also be connected with the very strong erotic sexual side of a person. And the thing about this is it might be, you know, where you don't really have that drive or that motivation to really express. It might be where you don't have the enthusiasm at this time. If you have the black moon Lilith in Gemini, it could be, you know, an erotic, you know, attraction for, you know, younger people, or it could be where you're more about variety in terms of, you know, in terms of sex. That, you know, you may be somebody that may have the enjoyment of manifold, you know, partners as an example. And also the black minerals can be connected with fixation and obsession. And it could be a time where we're really at this time, you know, the Mars is connected, you know, with our energy or vitality. It could be something where, you know, you're taking, you know, you may not have the, you know, maybe the energy to become overly fixated with something at this time. So it might actually be something good, or it could be where the energy may be drained as a result of being, you know, overly fixated on, you know, one particular thing. As well, there might be energy issues at this time as a result of this. And the thing about, you know, another way, you know, this transit may manifest, it could be where you're simply not motivated or driven to embrace the higher level of the place. And black minerals can have some good, you know, that's really one, at least one of the main good qualities of the placement is that of black minerals, I should say, of that energy, is that there is a higher level that can be embraced on it if you're willing, if you're able to somehow go past and bypass the negative energy connected with it. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now, again, it can be about not being, motivated to embrace the higher level of the placement. If the Black Moon, will say, is an Aquarius in the second house, as an example, in your chart, maybe it's trying to making contributions to the astrology or astronomy world, or through computers, as some examples, where it would enhance your self-worth, your self-esteem, and how you feel about yourself, as opposed to maybe causing the negative manifestation, I would say, of the Black Moon and Aquarius in the second house, could be causing dissension in the astrology community in a very extreme case, of course. Now, it could be where the situation with a very powerful enemy may be more contentious than usual, or it could simply be with somebody that plays a prominent role in your life scheme. Now, say if the natal Black Moon Lilith is in Gemini, as an example, it could be a Gemini Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Gemini characteristics. Be somebody that's very vacillating, mercurial, even dual-natured. Perhaps had some cases, or on positive side, could be somebody that's also very versatile, diversified, being able to talk about manifold subjects, and dexterous, and as some good examples. But the thing about this is, this transit may also result in having difficulty finding that courage, the fortitude to deal with the void in one's life. Now, say somebody has like in my this like what I have. I mean, I have an example. Somebody has the Black Moon Lilith and Leo in the fourth house, which is my placement. It could be expressing the extroversion, with home or family members, or being that dominant person in your home life, being able to have that, being able to be the dominant person in, as far as having, your home. And I think, with this as well, and it may be, just difficulty finding maybe the energy to do so, as an example. And it could be, too, when I look at this, transit, it could also manifest maybe at being angrier at the dark side of the sun, the negative manifestation of the placement. Now, say for example, if you have the natal Black Moon Lilith in Taurus, it could be being overly avaricious or greedy, perhaps not following through on monetary promises. It could be expressing an overly stubborn or obstinate quality, as some examples. Now, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.